The Bucs and the Eagles will play this weekend. They met on week 6, but the Bucs will be without a lot of their key contributors in this one. And we mentioned Fournette, and they may get him back. They're not going to get back Antonio Brown. They're not going to get back Chris Godwin, to quote Rick Pitino that time. Those guys aren't walking through that door. So let's deal in the people that Tom Brady is going to need, assuming we all have great confidence that he will be great in this postseason. Dominique, who is the one player he needs to also be great in order to have a chance to go back-to-back in Tampa?
Yeah, I kind of come to accept the fact that the defense is not going to be as good as they were last year. So it's going to put a lot more pressure on this offense, which makes me feel like Leonard Fournette is the guy that they need. Playoff Lenny, he was 6th in the league for touches when he got hurt. They were very reliant on him, not just in the running game, but you know Tom Brady, if you get a little bit of pressure, he's getting rid of that ball quickly. Leonard Fournette was the guy that was there to catch those quick outlet passes. So we'll see what happens with him going forward, how healthy he's going to be. They may not need him for this first-round game, but to go deep in the playoffs, given all the injuries that they have on that team offensively and defensively, I think they're going to need Leonard Fournette to take some of that pressure off of Tom Brady.
Yeah, and in particular, because, Tim, I think you've made this point repeatedly, and it's a good one. The loss of Godwin is one that is going to be really challenging to overcome.
Yeah, to me, I think that changed everything in terms of their Super Bowl hopes, just to be honest with you. To me, he's always been their most important offensive player outside of the quarterback because he does so much. Plays outside, plays in the slot. They use him as an insert blocker. I mean, and they didn't have anybody to replace him. And so even when people were like, well, they're going to get Antonio Brown back, Antonio Brown was never going to fill that void. Now they don't have him. And so I agree with Dominique. That's where Leonard Fournette can, kind of make up the difference, if you will, just by being a guy that breaks tackles, being a guy that when it's not there and it's not perfect, can get it done. Like if he can kind of turn into this dominant back, the way that people want to talk about, well, like what's the impact that someone like Derrick Henry's going to have? If he can do those types of things, that'll help. That's why I really believe that the biggest difference for that football team has to come on the defensive side of the ball. They need to play the way they did last season in the postseason.
Now, Kimberly, I've now gotten to know you well enough to know that your faith in Tom Brady is unshakable.
Because of magic, right? Right, Dominique? Because of magic? No.
Yep. But they were fortunate last year. They were very healthy going into the postseason and stayed that way. They're not this year. Yep. Do you still see them as the team?
I think you can't count them out because of Tom Brady. It's clear that this was a roster that was brought back to repeat. This roster is not exactly the same, and Brady has to rely on other guys that he may not have had to lean on in key moments. I think Dominique talking about Leonard Fournette, that's key. This defense having to play better is important. They also have to use the tight ends. Like Gronk is his guy, Cameron Brate, O.J. Howard. Like they've got to find some other playmakers besides Leonard Fournette, because I think we're all expecting this game to hinge on Leonard Fournette as well. But once you have one of the greatest the greatest quarterback of all time, sorry, you can't count him out because we've seen him do well with less.
Yes, that's right. We've seen him win with less than he has right now. But to beat Aaron Rodgers, who's playing on a similar, if not even higher level right now, he's going to need some help. We'll see if he gets his troops back. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.